welcome. It's time for Friday Night Marketing. We're gonna rock. We're gonna roll. Rock and roll. Get real and bold. Come on, join the show now. It's about to unfold. Get raw, get real, get results now. We're the latest steel, making waves loud. On this stage, we ignite. Every Friday night, brand new fight. Get real, get results now. We're the latest steel, making waves loud. On this stage, we ignite. Every Friday night, brand new fight. In the spotlight, feel the fever. Every pitch and quest. Dreams are big, get bigger tonight. Push the limits, reach new heights. So grab your seat, don't blink an eye. 'Cause Friday night we'll touch the sky. Welcome! It's time for Friday Night Marketing Raw!
Boss Boogity.
Buzz biggity bing bam bomb. Booyakasha, check out our live. Hello, Dan. Hi, Kurt. It's good to be here. Friday Night Marketing Raw. Booming into the YouTubes. We got some good shit to talk about tonight, actually. I think we're going to have some fun. But
when do we never? I keep coming back every week. It's there's always something.
There's always something to talk about.
You've made it on my calendar now. It's like, what? Oh, Friday afternoon, right? Let's go see what's going on in the crazy world of Kurt and Andy.
Oh, this isn't just our world, though. It's everyone's world.
That's the problem.
The breaking news of the week, and I want to be. I know there's that. I think we worked out the rule on YouTube is try not to say a bad word occurs in like the first 5 minutes or so of a live, and you're probably all right.
Right.
So I want to be, but luckily our countdown lasts 3 minutes, so we're probably all right because it's very hard not to swear when you're talking about
cunts.
There we go. So
According to YouTube, that's not a bad word.
Tom E is back.
Oh, great.
Said,
did you want more emotion out of me? That great. Wow.
Oh,
said
wow.
no one ever.
Yeah. What's funny is that
Is he getting too old now to dick about on that skateboard? Is he?
well, he's clearly using some filter on this video because, like, he looks like he's like 12 years fucking old.
Looks like it could do
Either
with
that, or
a
he's
meal,
got
to be
a
honest.
really haggard-looking painting in his attic. I don't know, or it's not a filter, and whatever he's smoking in his crack pipe makes him very useful.
So, I mean, I remember this guy. It's got to be 5 years ago, 6,
Yeah.
7, maybe even. I mean, it's not. This isn't recent that he's been disappeared off. I mean, I don't know. Maybe he's just finished his prison term and now he's ready to get back to business. I don't know.
Could be. He very well could be.
Well,
you always wonder when people in this industry just kind of disappear, don't you?
The last we really heard of him, he sort of lingered around a bit afterwards. But let's bring Mr. Richie Nolan in.
How you doing?
He is.
I think we're getting excited because Tommy is back, and Tommy, of course, gave me some really good career advice. Before he disappeared for 10 fucking years or whatever it's been. Yeah. But there you go.
Yeah. I remember that.
Oh, yes. It was at the very beginning of Society 11.
Is that what it was? So what year would that have been then? 2017?
16.
16. Wow. God, that's going back a bit, isn't it?
Junk traffic with this product.
That's it. 10K hits traffic all day long.
Yeah.
Yeah, he told you it wouldn't be good for his career, I think. That's what you said.
Because basically I got review access and I did two things. First thing I did, I actually tried it with real money, and I dropped a video of myself doing it. Actually put in the suggested amount and everything and did this thing. It made nothing. And then we looked a bit. I said to Kurt, well, our proof doesn't work. Here's the proof. And then Kurt went, well, even worse than that. Did you bother reading the terms and conditions of these services? And I went, not that thoroughly. And he went, basically, everything they're doing is in breach. So I reached out to what was now my account manager on this thing on redirect.com and said, I was suggested to do this. I've looked at the terms. I don't think it's allowed, so I apologize. And he came back and went, that's okay. We do get people try this from time to time, and we shut their accounts down. So anyone that did it, so I went back to Simple Spencer and this dickhead, and I said, look, number one, the product doesn't work, flat out. Just if you do it as it is, it does not work. Second of all, it's completely against terms of service. So not only are going to people waste money, they're going to get their account shut down. They're just going to get nothing but grief. You really need to rethink this. And they said, we've got all of our affiliates on board now. We can't possibly pull the plug. And that says it all. When you're, when your ethics are that skewed that the product and your customers don't matter because, hey, as long as I keep the JVs happy and rim them.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, if you launch this, I'm going public. I will tell my audience, and I'll be very public about, and I will put the videos out with my evidence. And Tommy came back and said, that would be a bad career move. So guess what? I did it anyway. Their launch got shut down. And guess what? He had to fuck off and I didn't. So it wasn't a bad career move, you fucker.
Yeah. When people cut corners like that, or, it's that we all learn early on that as long as you're adding value into your customers' lives and you're doing it in an ethical way, then the sales will follow. They just will. That's just the way it goes. But if someone's doing that and they're not giving a shit about the
here's the thing, right? They had to have known that before they created the product.
Yeah.
It was just that they got called out, right? Because you can't, if I do something, either I'm teaching something that I've been doing or something that I've heavily researched and tried and implemented, right? It's not just. So they had to have known that it was bullshit. They had to have known that it wasn't going to work. and they probably just thought, well, doesn't matter, fuck them. I mean, we'll have the $10 off them, and then we're away, aren't we? And that's, unfortunately, there's no shortage of those type of sellers in the space. I mean, particularly on Warrior Plus. Some of the
I remember the entire sales video for Junk Traffic Alchemy, that thing that got the video was literally this: a rubbish bin from top down view, and somebody put in a dollar bill, put the lid on it, and then they use a cut, and obviously, and then they take the lid off, and there's $5 in there. And they take them out, and put another one in the neighborhood. That was the entire sales video for their thing. We've got a system that does this, and it's push button.
Jesus. I almost want to see the kind of behind the scenes of how that was filmed, and just see sort of, Simple Spencer sat in the trash can passing out the bills out the top, while they're filming it.
Yeah.
Now that I might pay $10 just to see the behind the scenes video of that.
That would be worth it.
That would be worth it, yeah.
That would be worth it. So anyway, there's someone shouting about the fact that Tommy's coming back. I made a comment on that post. This is in the Warrior Plus JV inner circle. I went, oh wow, Tommy the career advisor is back. I can't see. Kurt made a comment. Oh no, there it is.
Did you see the Warrior actually sent out an email saying, "Look who's back" as well?
Did they?
Yeah.
Paula
I
Marie
was kind of
Roberts
surprised. I didn't.
goes, oh, he's such a brilliant marketer. So good to have him back on Warrior Plus.
Oh, show. You got to show it. You got to show it.
Do you know what? I think that just about sums everything up, really.
I replied, I just did a laugh emoji, but Kurt came in and trumped it. Said no one ever.
Such a brilliant mouse. So good to have him back on the Warrior Plus platform again.
Said no one ever.
So there we go. So
I think after that, she rescinded her friendship request to me. I'm joking. She didn't.
Don't worry. You're not missing out on anything.
So in the next few weeks, I somehow think on either Zoo or Warrior Plus, if that was in a circle, it's going to be a product from Tommy if it's not out already. I don't need to know. All I need to know is if Tommy's involved, I can guarantee you it'll be shit.
I'll see if I can get review access, and we'll have a look at it. We'll see what it's all about.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Even if we have to pay,
have a feeling
$10 on it.
Apparently, with it, you can make 20k out of thin air.
Oh. Well, summer's fast approaching. I am thinking about vacations. 20k wouldn't go wrong, would it? Another 20k in the bank.
Little 20k.
I was just about to say, I know you as a person that believes in second chances, Andy, but I think that, I was about to defend him then, but if you think that,
look,
it's not.
He might surprise us.
Yeah,
and I'm always open to that.
Yeah.
But my experience with people in that little group is that they don't ever change their spots. They'll come out and do a faux, I've seen the light, and then the next thing they're just trying to get people to sign up for some MLM
exactly
shit.
the same thing, yeah.
So I think there is I try and give everyone the benefit of the doubt, and there is a bit of sometimes these leopards don't change their spots, is the truth of the matter. And I tried everything to be really decent with them in the approach I made when this was going wrong before. And then I said, well, you realise I've got to tell people if you do this because I don't want my audience buying it.
No,
and that's going to be the bad career move that'd be.
Well, that's a good career move because you're protecting your list, aren't you?
Well, exactly. And I kept my list forever, and I didn't have to vanish for a few years. So.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think the worst problem was though at that time? And I don't know whether or not he was necessarily involved in it, but there was a lot of people that were, more so than the products, right? I mean, I can look at a product, it's a really great product standalone. Maybe I might give somebody a chance. But the problem was, at the time, there was so much list swapping going on. Mm-hmm. You sent in a customer to seller X, and before you know it, every Tom, Dick, and Harry, well, I don't know if Tom and Harry was there, but certainly the other one, you were on their list.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll show you.
I used to see emails get, before you know it, I had 15, 20 vendors that I'd never bought anything from.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly
Yep.
I'm on their list too.
Yeah. Well, I think it's just these people often start off with the best of intentions, but they just get greedy along the way and then get lazy with it and go, well, I can get away with this, so I will.
Shortcuts.
So
I'll tell you where we won't get away with it though, and that would be JV Zoo, because they don't. Did you see the thing about Laura put a post out about people that were auto-registering people for webinars?
I love that one of the
didn't.
video clips is Tommy saying, I made 20k out of thin air. Another one is him saying some other bullshit. The third one, though, is him saying, I'll try to go again because I'm not listening. I've got the subtitles on and it loops around. But it's going, I'm going to be as bold as saying, if you get revenue reset and if you don't make money with it, it's your own fault because it can do absolutely everything for you.
Yeah, that is the best refund guarantee I've ever seen. You get a 60-day refund guarantee, but if you can't get it to work, it's your fault.
It's your fault.
And how much is it? How much is the offer?
I have no idea actually because I haven't.
No idea.
Has it actually been? It's right. We know what it's called now. Revenue resets. Let's go look that up on Puncheye.
Revenue reset.
I have a product I just made in 15 minutes. It's probably worth a lot more than his.
What have you called it? Internet cash cannon?
No.
But
Internet
it's not.
sniper.
It's not on Muncheye.
It's Tommy with James Renouf on the 7th today, 7th of February.
Oh Christ! Is that the? I saw James Renouf, and I didn't think Tommy would be launching with him. But there you go.
How many? How's the sales looking then? Let's have a look if it's already launched.
Get your links
Get your
sales
link
page
here.
preview JV access, right?
I don't even bother really logging into Warrior these days.
Andy and Kurt, is that background you've got? Is that an air traffic control tower that you're in, or is that like a
DJ radio station?
Radio thing. Yeah.
all right.
100 sales.
Yeah, we both work as
274
air
visitor
traffic
value,
controllers in DC and Philadelphia.
and 11% conversions.
11%.
Not
11% Warrior conversions. So
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that changes everything.
The fake conversions that Warrior shows.
Yeah.
I'll show you guys real quick what I just created. I mean, it took me no time. And you tell me whether or not this is a viable product. I made a WordPress plugin that
Anyone
creates
use WordPress still?
that works WordPress plugins.
Yeah, but no one uses WordPress anymore, do they?
Oh hell yeah, they still do.
Do they?
yeah, it's still
Yeah,
40% of the internet
Is it?
is
Yes.
WordPress. Still.
Jesus.
So
Mm.
you get the
I was
name.
actually. I looked up the figures the other day because I wanted to for a sales page, but yeah, it's still a hell of a
Good
lot. I
Lord.
wasn't expecting that myself.
So
Wow.
there's the name, the description, give it the version, the author name, the URL for the author, the URL for the plugin, the main page title, and then of course main page code, which can be iframes or YouTube videos or whatever you want. How many sub pages you want? 2, 3, 4, 5, and then just add the information to it. Click generate, and then this is what it looks like, something like this. So I made this one, and I haven't put anything in these sub menus, but it's that quick and easy. And I know it works. It works very well.
It's
Because-
good for if you've got a plugin or something, or if you've got some form of training that you need in the back end of a WordPress site. That's a perfect thing for it.
Exactly.
just
So
Stick it all
Yeah.
in there. But
Deactivate
I remember
that
people
one.
paying an awful lot of money back in the day for people's training videos that they could put in their own.
So here's
WordPress
one for Vid
backend.
Optimizer. It has the one training video there. And if we click here, this one has all of them. And ooh, that looks a lot like a Snapifier page there, which it is. So if people want to get information, they have to come down here and actually get access to it. So it's lead generation at the same time. Imagine that.
Very nice.
It's again another tool that works perfectly with Snapifier. That's SNAPIFIER. IFIER.com. My plug is over. I gotta go.
Jeez. Hey Andy, I was saying to you about I don't know whether or not you heard it before we were starting, but there's a product that you might be interested in potentially on JV Zoo that's going very well on the AI stuff. I know you've got a bit of a list for it.
Mhm.
It's AI is basically AI phone line, so but you can have someone on the call, you know, doing whatever. I just don't have an audience for it, but it's definitely selling well. Let me just.
I don't know that I do for phone stuff.
Well,
for
I
no,
didn't
people
think
don't-
any of us
it's
did,
more
but-
for like local agents and stuff like
Mum-
that. Yeah.
My brother
Yeah.
and his rank and rent, he might be interested in that. But...
Yep.
And he's got an audience for it.
You'd
more
be
than
surprised what your audience would buy, Andy.
I know.
Well, this one.
But here's the
launched-
thing. I tend to only recommend things I know are good. And the reason I know they're good is that things that I use or have been... I don't do anything with phone lines. I mean, I'd have to do a whole case study using them and find out if there was... You know, I just... No.
I could tell you one organization that I would promote for, and that would be 11 Labs. They actually have local AI agents now. And being
The
that they
11
do-
Labs do some pretty good stuff. I mean, I wouldn't worry about promoting a proper campaign.
Yeah, they have what's called conversational AI.
Yeah, I actually saw something where somebody was doing that whole Notebook LM thing, but with 11 Labs, and they were using their own trained voices, so it didn't sound like somebody doing a Notebook LM podcast. You know,
And
they
11
had
Labs
proper
was
voices on
smart,
there.
not trying to reinvent the wheel, and is working with Twilio for all the back end stuff.
Yeah.
So it's they're not trying to be everything for everybody. They're like, we do voices, we can help tie into Twilio, which does all the menuing, all the patch through, all the telephone numbers subscribing, all the NANA information that's needed, North American Number
It's
Association.
depressing, really, isn't it? In very short space of time, we're all going to be sat here reading shit on the internet that's all been AI generated, and when we call up to try and get anything done, we're going to be talking to AI.
WP Horde. That's been going for 2.5 years and still working.
It is true, but at the same time, there's a lot of information out there that you don't need to go to somebody who actually, knows the stuff. AI knows it already. I mean, I've been programming this week. I haven't done any of it myself. I've got AI to do all of it.
Scary, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
Yeah.
And it got to a point where I wasn't actually doing any work. I didn't have it in a thing like Bolt or in anything like that.
Yeah.
I was just running the AI in one side, and I'd given it all the pages. This is for a Chrome extension, and I said, "This isn't working. Fix this," and it just came back and gave me all the pages that I could copy and paste in to the thing. Dead simple.
Did you
really?
You saw the new Society 11 Chrome extension, didn't you?
I saw the new Society 11 Chrome extension today. Yeah, it looks very cool.
And also the
That's
Chrome
built
extension
with a-
generator is in there
That's
now.
built with a bit of software that was made with AI.
That's it.
There you go.
Scary, isn't it? What it can do.
Yes.
Well, it can do a lot. It's scary because people don't know how to ask it. That's the scary part.
I think
People
that's
are
probably
too
the worst bit,
afraid.
isn't it?
They're just too afraid.
Mm.
Fear holds 99% of everyone that's in this arena back. It's fear. Fear of success, fear of failure, fear of Richie. It's amazing.
Fear of Richie.
The thing
Said-
is,
Said
good
no
as
one ever.
AI as good as AI has got, you can ask OpenAI, you can ask Claude, you can ask Gemini, you can ask DeepSeek, and I tell you, none of them can give a definitive answer.
Has George Wikens given David Kirby his money back yet?
Of course not. And that is a
He's-
definitive answer.
He's still a cunt.
Yeah. And that was
Has George Wikens given David Kirby his money back yet?
And that's not a term of endearment. Just saying.
there you go.
There's a surprise one. Well, in news this week for us, we are officially leaving Wistia.
Way!
Oh, that's good.
So
That's-
we,
I mean, I assume that's good. As
Yeah,
long as
oh.
they haven't thrown you out, that would be bad.
They haven't thrown me out.
No,
They're arse fucking me for payments, but they
Hmm.
haven't actually thrown us out.
Yeah.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
no. So
Fair
I've been playing around with the webinar kit that we talked about. I've been playing around with a few different things, and basically for the money that we were spending, well, actually less money than what we were spending with just Wistia. I'm basically got a new stack of stuff that we're going to use. So we're going to use the bunny stuff that you spoke about. I'm going to try and get that. Now, I might not use that for front end VSL. I might use it for everything else except that. And I may use Vidalytics, which just does the one thing that I really like about Vidalytics is that it starts the autoplay, right? And then what happens is regardless of how long somebody took to actually unmute the sound, it always goes back.
It goes
to the
back to
start,
the beginning. You see,
which
that's
I
something
really
that I
like because I
would
don't
like.
want people to miss part of my. When I'm
Yeah.
filming that VSL,
No.
it's because I want them to hear the full message, not turn up when I'm going. So now you can buy, blah, blah, blah,"
So this is the reason why on my sales pages I just have it playing and hope for the best, because I haven't got that functionality. It would be great to have it on there. That vid power I've been looking at this week, I think looks pretty.
I have too. They have a
Interesting.
special offer.
They
also.
do, and it's not lasting for much longer, is it?
No.
And what is this? Is this just like a?
It's
Take
a
a
skin
YouTube
for
video,
YouTube.
put it in there, it skins it. It means that you don't have. And funnily enough, I was looking. I've been loading videos onto Product Dino, and Product Dino kind of does this for you anyway. So if you load a video in there, that's fine. But if you're using something else, it would be handy to have a tool that does something like this. And they say this has been going since 2015, but I've not heard of them before.
Does it do what I've just mentioned?
Don't know.
Because that's the thing. And the other thing as well that this Vidalytics does that I quite like. Let's say you've got a customer, right? And they've turned up and then they've got distracted with something else, right? Or they scroll away from the video or they open something else. When they come back to your web page, it remembers them and says, hey, continue watching or start from the beginning.
That's interesting. Now, I
So
watched the first part of a course today, and when I navigated away from the sales page, it wasn't a course, it was a sales page for Creator U. That was on Instagram. I thought, all right, let's check it out and see what it's doing. And when you navigated away from the page, it stopped the video.
Mm-hmm.
So when you went back, you had to then go, I want to listen to the rest of the video.
I think it helps keep people focused on it. There's a few tests that I want to run. I mean, I'm talking about here front end VSL, where I want them. There's a message that I want to give them leading to a call to action, right? I'm not talking about other I mean, not even upsells. I wouldn't even use it for upsell videos because the way in which we do most of our upsells is pretty much kind of like video at the top, then a little bit of info and a payment button, right? Like it's quite reduced down. But just for that front end VSL. So anyways, I can basically have that for front end VSLs. I can have the bunny stuff for sure. It's going to be next to nothing. Plus, we can use the webinar kit, and I'm still only spending about half as much as what we were spending with Wistia.
So, and that's the idea, isn't it? It's get it to a point where you're reducing your costs overall, so that you can do.
But it's also. I mean, I got to a point where. I mean, with Wistia, there was just little things because they're not a webinar platform. They're trying to, every business at the minute seems to be, we want to be the everything of everything, right?
Yeah.
And we want to charge you for that privilege. Whereas actually, I prefer the way that one company does this, one company does that. And I'd rather just have this functionalities. But one of the things that I just was really getting annoyed with was you cannot edit the follow-up emails that they send out. So it's like a format that they send out, and it's like these emails. I want to take away, because of the way in which we get people on there, I want to remove the word that says webinar, right? I want to remove that word because we're calling it an orientation session. Because you hear the word webinar, you think pitch, right? So I want to take that word, just like one word out. Can't do it. Driving me nuts. So with all the money, I'm like, no, we need to. It's been fun. We're going to use it for off the back of this launch next week because we just got it all set up and we're ready to go. So we'll do one more, and then for the next one, which will be at the start of April, we're going to be on Webinar Kit. We'll give that a go. And
we got 3 webinars booked in, mate. Make sure they're 59 minutes apiece, will you?
I'm hoping you make some plenty of sales, mate. It doesn't matter then, does it? You know, Wistia can have their extra $50 if they want, you know. But yeah, and that's the other thing.
2 minutes over and get a bill the size of the national debt of a
mate,
small
country. It's just a piss take. It really is. No.
And that, do you know what? That's Rich is 100% right. Piss take, and that's the problem. I feel violated. Right, I feel like, I mean, if you just said to me, right, you get an hour, if you go over an hour or whatever, there's a small penalty or whatever. Whereas you look at this webinar flow, you can have 100, 500 or 1,000 attendees, depending on what you want. Unlimited number of webinars, no limit on the time, you know, whatever you need, it's all customizable, and it's a third of the cost.
Yeah.
I think that when you're starting a business and you're doing launches and you're building a list and you're doing all the stuff that we've been doing over the past few months, you just forget there's so many moving parts to it, and there's so many little different bits and pieces that you need, depending on what you're doing and what direction you go in and how your funnels are set up and all that stuff. That it's just teething problems, and this is one of those teething problems. We're like, right, where can we trim the fat? What's costing a lot that we don't really need? And so this won't be the first time we go through something like this, and I'm sure it's not, you know.
Well, we only bought Wistia because you like the girl, you like the sales girl. That was the only reason why we bought Wistia.
Well, my wife's now gone upstairs, but yeah, I'll say that she was fit.
And I'll send her this YouTube recording. No, wait, really.
We're leaving anyway. So
yeah, we are live on the internet. We have to remember that.
Oh yeah.
Believe me,
she's not going to watch this. Believe me, she's not.
You're going to make sure that that's how that's.
Who am I? That's right. I'm the guy that can find anyone's email address.
Oh, well, good luck.
Cutegirl@wistia.com.
No. Solicitor.
Ah, yes. Well, yeah. But does she use her maiden name or her,
how many
or her married name?
subscriptions of Society 11 are you going to buy?
Yeah, exactly.
33 minutes in,
And then
the blackmail has been made.
Then you can release that in a month's time. Blackmail profits. It'll be great.
Yeah.
Just get Tommy to launch it. He'll do that for you.
Yeah. New launch by kurtthecunt.com.
He'll call it commission conversion.
Watch him as he blackmails Richie Nolan.
Commission coercion.
Believe me,
And
I've said
the
worse.
upsell is just straight black.
Commission coercion. That's perfect name.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Oh boy.
So that's what we're doing. We're just having a bit of a look in the whole tech stack of stuff and moving things around. And
there was something up. I don't know if you want to say on here about something else you wanted to move over to and from as well. That was interesting. We were discussing before.
I don't remember what it was, but you're free to say it.
Okay, moving from school to go.
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah, school to GHL. Yeah. So we've got a community that is on school at the minute, and this has just been the one that I add in as the $10, the $10 a month bump offer, right? Which is hilarious because 95% of people don't even use it, but they keep paying it.
Frustrating, that, isn't it? Because you put so much effort into that community.
I mean, it is frustrating, but at the end of the day, like it's there. They're paying for it. It's there. It's them that's missing out, right? We've got the community there.
Are you meaning to tell me that school doesn't give you at least $97 a month worth of signups?
No. honestly, like
that's what they're proud of. The interactivity, how they market for you.
no, they haven't done anything for me. But like, so school's fine. I don't want to knock the platform because it's a fine platform if that's what you really want to do. But there's just some things that just
what
don't...
it does well. But
yeah,
what
yes.
it
but the other
does
stuff
isn't
is
actually very much.
the reality is it's a community. It's a community almost like a forum, right? That side of it, that community bit is good enough.
I think it's good for the fun, for what it does as well.
But you know, $100 a month.
Is it what you need for the product that you want to put out? Because actually,
Exactly,
that kind of
that's the
interaction
issue.
doesn't
depends.
work for everybody, does it?
Depends the argument, because the argument could be made. It costs me $100 a month, and we've got what's recurring revenue right now? 5K a year, is it on that offer? Something like that.
I think so.
So
yeah,
right.
So actually, it does do that because it costs me $1,200 a year, and I've got 5K in now, and we've only had the offer going a couple of months. So in that respect, it works perfectly. It works beautifully.
My brother has got a school thing and they were raving about it, and then but so many conversations I've had with him have gone. We've been talking about something, and I went, "Oh, I tell you what you could do there. If you were to put X, Y, Z there, you probably increase your conversions by another 10-15%." And the answer so often is, "Oh yeah, we can't because of," and it's always because of school. Not any of the other things he's using. It's always, well, no, because school doesn't let you do that, and school doesn't, and they got this, and like nearly everything that I think is a basic marketing thing, it's missing still. I mean, they're getting there because they keep adding to it.
Because this is the other problem of SaaS stuff, that if you go more mainstream, something like school, it doesn't have the marketing stuff that we would expect built in. Or if you go with something from the internet marketing community, it'll have all the bells and whistles, but it won't last for more than 5 minutes. So, you know.
I mean, that's what I really found with school, was that it's missing integration. So, for example, we still use right now, I mean, and I had this conversation, I was on a call with Mark Laxton the other day, because he's got ClickFunnels 2.0, right? And I had ClickFunnels Classic. Then, of course, they create this 2.0. And it was like, so actually, all the stuff that you created in Classic, you can't move it over. You've got to start again because we built it from the ground up, right? Which, I mean, for me, it's just like, if you've got something with masses of MRR, so you've got loads of recurring revenue on it, why are you now saying pretty much that's dead? This is the new thing. Come on over and start your whole thing again, right? Anyway, it's crazy. Yeah. So I tried version 2. Horrible, couldn't do it. So I stuck on Classic. Still use Classic now, right? Still using it.
Well, wasn't that one of the major selling points of Convertry? Was, oh, you can put a URL in and we'll try and replicate it, but it didn't work as well as it could have done. But it was better than a lot of the stuff.
A lot for sales pages. Trying to do it with a sales page with time, and then images would be wrong. And if you looked at mobile, you basically were starting from scratch because mobile was a mess.
Yeah.
So I mean, it wasn't perfect. It was good for
you hit the remobilize button, and it may as well have said, "Make things
off.
worse." You think it's shit now? Press that button.
So,
oh god.
So that's why
this button's called the site dildo because it will fuck you up the arse.
Yes.
The whiskey
raw,
button.
No lube.
So anyway, so we had. We're going through. He wanted to try and connect that to JVZoo version 2.0 of ClickFunnels, right? And we couldn't get it to connect natively to it because what ClickFunnels have done is they've said, well, you've got to now add that integration through their payments AI because they want to take 2% of the sale.
Fucking hell.
Hang on a fucking minute. No, and doubly.
That is not what they should be.
So. Yeah. Again, I was like, and he's like, well, I built it all on 2.0. What if I move it to Classic? I was like, there's no such thing. You'd have to build it again in Classic. And he's like, this is a shit show. Yes, I completely agree. They
want the 3 comma club.
Yeah.
Is there API stuff? Is there a way to host something that will fix it through Make or something like that?
So, yeah, it would be Zapier or you could use Make, I guess. And so you'd have to get it to send, obviously, like the IPN signal that a payment had been made to then
goes in,
create
yeah,
the
goes into
account
make, then it
and
goes
then
into
send it back. But you couldn't
Yeah.
just like, so for example, in JVZoo right now, you just connect it. There's a link. ClickFunnels gives you the link. I copy it. I throw it in there, and it
Yep.
all works. And the best bit is it works really well for the upsells, right? So every time they buy an upsell, they only have to log in with that one thing, and everything's there. Which obviously, by the time you get into using Make or Zapier, there are more points where that can fail, right? Because you're now relying on JVZoo sending that to there, Zapier sending that to there, and depending on your plan, you might be on a thing where it only sends a certain amount per hour, so there can be a delay, right? With Zapier,
This is why I
then-
wrote my own
and then-
for Thrivecart, because I know it works, and I've got a web host that's up 99.99% of the time, and it's not massive traffic hitting your website with even with a big launch.
Yeah.
I made an integration between Thrivecart, Gumroad, and Product Dino, so I can make it do any which way that I want. As well as Pabbly just came out with a new product called Hooks, and you can put a webhook in and then send it to another webhook and send it to another webhook and send it to another webhook, so it can handle all your automation.
That's nice.
Very nice. Used to be like IPN Sonic.
Yeah,
that's right.
Andrew's old pro. Yep.
Do any of you guys use Make? Because I've been looking at that as a Zapier alternative, because the pricing, I mean, it's ridiculously different.
I can code, and now AI can code, and so I'm not thinking, well, let's spend that much money every month. I'm already spending like 50 quid on web servers every month. I should
Is that all?
use it or something. You say, is that all? But I don't have any SaaS products out, so that's
I have a free account on Make, and I only run one, and it was only because the thing I needed to integrate with wasn't available in Pabbly at the time, because that's what I prefer to use. But it now has been integrated in Pabbly. But I've still got this free Make account set there doing this one little task at the moment. I do quite like Make, but I just didn't like. I got pissed off with them because I used to be with them when it was Integramat.
Yep,
and they fucked us
same
on
here.
that. They made us
because when Integramat first started, they had it to where you can create a webhook, and that webhook can be for many different workflows. And the problem come down to when you switched over to Make. Now you have to make an individual webhook for each individual workflow.
Yeah.
And
I'm not actually that enamored of their interface as well, which looks very slick, but actually when you try and use
it's not. I find it easier in Pabbly. Pabbly is straight down. If you have a fork, it's like here's option A, here's option B, and you can put notes on every node.
Yeah,
that'd
so
be useful.
I go in and stick a note in and say, I'm checking for if the customer's already in the database. If they're not in the next filter, they're going to get added to it. So anyone looking at one of my flows would be able to go. They might not understand the name of the webhook but they can, if you read my notes,
they get the idea of what it
breaks down what it's doing, and it also means when I go back, because I'm aware that I'm getting old, I go back in and look at shit I've written and I think, how the fuck is this working?
Yeah.
So I over document the shit out of everything now. Just stick a note there and a note there.
Also, with Pabbly, you've got that ability to have the unlimited account, the lifetime account. So it's a bit expensive, but it seems like it's worth it if that's the sort of thing that you need. If I needed that, I would definitely have spent that money.
What?
I don't think they do it anymore, because I'm just looking at this now and I've got the option.
Hold on, let me get you a link.
View offer. Sorry, I totally missed that.
There's a back door to the lifetime still.
Yes.
Yes,
if you log into an account, if you've got an account already, then
Yep.
But because I paid a big chunk to Pabbly to have almost unlimited. Well, I mean, it's not unlimited, but it's like so many thousand I'll never use them.
Yeah.
And nearly all the tasks I'm using are free tasks. They're really generous when they add thing in. They're like, it's a new task. Oh, it's a free one. It's a free one. It's a free one. So really, the only time they're charging you for a task is where it really costs them something, like Google API fees and things like that. And even a lot of
Yeah.
that they let you have for nothing.
And the
Okay, so 3,000
chat is my
tokens every
link for
month
Pabbly.
is $250 for life.
Yeah.
Unlimited workflows and stuff is $700 for life. It's not. It's a really very, very cheap for what you're getting.
Which is what I did. I've got the unlimited. So
Yeah.
but it was that when I started using Tarbant Mail, that was only about they had it on Make, and they said it's coming to Pabbly, it's coming, and it didn't for ages. So I thought, well, it's on Make, I can do more automation, ping over a different webhook and solve it. And then about a month or so ago, it appeared in Pabbly. So although the way it works is horrible, but that's down to Tarbant, not Pabbly.
You're
All right,
always
guys,
going
I'm
to
gonna-
get that. There's always going to
I'm
be
gonna
something
jump off
that you
here.
go, oh, hang on, why are they doing
All right,
that?
Kurt, take care. Have a good one.
Kurt, it's good
All
seeing
right.
you again.
Later.
See you, mate.
Take care.
See
So
ya.
Pabbly's this Pabbly webhook, which is what I would need for connecting, I imagine, JV Zoo, because I imagine it doesn't
Pabbly
have
Connect
anything
is what you need.
Pabbly Connect.
You don't need anything else. Just Pabbly Connect.
But do they have the integration? Because if they don't have the integration, I guess I would have to build it with a webhook, wouldn't I?
What integration do you need?
Well, I'd want to go from JV Zoo sales notification to, let's call it, ClickFunnels for now,
Okay.
or GHL.
Have you got some web space somewhere which will run PHP?
Yeah. I
could
mean,
write that for
I've
you.
got web space. I mean, yeah, I could
could write that
file
for you.
wherever. Could.
In fact, I've done half the work for it anyway because I connect to Zoo anyway through the thing that I've already done. So it's just taking that and figuring out how to plug it into ClickFunnels.
Into my back end, so to speak.
Exactly, and don't we all want to plug into your back end?
Well, there's been a few. It's bizarre, really, because most of the affiliates, want to make sure you do your work before they give you the reset on this end.
So Pabbly has got ClickFunnels integration directly. So the JV Zoo bit you do with a webhook, but you do custom webhooks from Pabbly Connect.
From Pabbly, yeah.
And it's
Right.
their free tasks as well. So you make a webhook, you give that to Zoo, it sends the information to that. You go in, you'll be able to then pick that out. And then there is a ClickFunnels option on here, but I can't see what it does because I don't have a ClickFunnels account. So.
So we don't know if that's new ClickFunnels or old. Then I presume.
Good point. It just says ClickFunnels.
I would love to have been a fly on the wall where some clever individual said, do you know what, Russell Brunson, you've got a great product here. Do you know what will make it better? Start from scratch and build another one. And don't make the two talkable to each other at all.
That
Yeah.
That is annoying. That's just something that should never happen. I mean, it does happen an awful lot.
It
in
shouldn't
software,
happen.
but
It is.
shouldn't.
You've got to factor that in. When we did the very last version of Sasset we did, Ben went, I really just want to rewrite the file format because I know far more now. I can optimize it. And you can do whatever you like as long as you give me a clean way to take all that data and convert it at the push of a button. So I said, you can do what you like, but you've got to write a conversion program. And he went, all right. And he did. And so when
it's not beyond the wit of
we tested the shit out of it before
do
finally porting everyone across.
Of course you do. I've done those sorts of things before where it was, in fact, I think we were working for was it Daily Mail or it was the Star or something? They were running competitions, and we were writing the back end to do the things, and we had to migrate everybody over to a thing. And you spend days just testing one account at a time.
Steve sitting there, I'll manually add in all the page 3 models. Don't worry about building an integration for that.
We weren't allowed to know who they were either. So that bit of the database was closed off. We couldn't see it at all because of the GDPR.
You know, I was telling we were without internet for a couple of days this week. Sorry to change the subject slightly.
Here
And
we go.
I was telling my daughter about what it was like before the internet because she didn't believe me that I was born 1982. So it's way before the internet came along. And so I was explaining to her what it was like because all we had in the house for 48 hours were the 5 channels because we don't.
Yeah.
It was to connect to Sky.
Hey,
Like, this week-
1982, we didn't even have the 5 channels.
it-
Channel
well, it
5 was in the 90s,
no,
wasn't it?
Channel 5 was 1996, launched by the Spice Girls. Yeah, Channel 4
Yeah,
was
there you go.
1982, the year I was born.
1982, yes, was Channel 4.
Which is the same year Countdown
I
was.
remember Channel 4 starting up and watching the first ever Predators logo came up and it was all exciting to you. And then
That was very exciting, that
and
logo.
it was a fucking game show about anagrams and counting, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, that is
I was 4, and I literally sat and watched this channel is starting soon thing for
Yeah.
hours just because I was quite stupid as a child. But other than that, no, it was brilliant. That little animation thing, it felt new and special and
remember
different.
the girl with the little puppet thing that was just a picture?
That was
That was BBC.
Oh, that was it.
That was
BBC.
the-
Of course it was. Yeah.
yeah, that was the test card.
And I was telling Lexi, yeah, we didn't have the internet. Like everyone bought a newspaper, so I remember buying the Sun newspaper on the way to school and reading it on the train. And then I'd look at page 3, and she's like, "What's page 3?" And it's like, "Oh fuck, right, I've got to tell her about this now." And I told her what page 3 was, and she went, "I don't believe you." And I said, "Very much, she's 9." And I said,
Yeah.
"No, it's true. There was a naked lady on page 3 every day." No, there wasn't. There was. There was. And of course, I'm not going to bring up pictures or anything. You know, like, she's 9.
But
But
no,
she
on a lot
couldn't
of
believe
tables and in the country,
Yeah.
there was newspapers with.
And I said it was only
topless women.
recently, like I don't know, 10 years ago or something, and that was banned, wasn't it? At page 3.
I think
don't
It's
know
not
what it
even
was.
banned. I think they've stopped it, but it's
They
still
just
going in certain
decided
places.
no one really wants it anymore. But
But you
it
think
was just part of it when it was like, oh, look at the jugs on that.
Yeah, and especially as an 11-year-old boy, at that time, that was like, yeah, that'll do me.
Have a quick think before the paper round, There you go.
So that was
Yeah.
great. It was like describing a Twilight Zone, a different planet, as far as she was concerned. She couldn't.
Mind you,
get her head around.
tell the full story, Richie. Who got blamed for all this?
Oh, you did.
I did.
Yeah.
So he sends me a video of his kids explaining to them what they've got. We've got no internet. You're not having Peppa Pig tonight, and it's all my fault.
Yeah, I was on a Zoom with Dan. He's like, "Look, your internet's terrible. You need to get new internet." It's like, right, okay. So I just did it there and then. Ordered got rid of Sky, got Vodafone, and got the new contracts. Blah blah blah. And then he said, "Oh yeah, we'll send it to you." And then so the internet was switched off at 8 a.m. Tuesday morning. It was supposed to be switched on, and then the new one with Vodafone switched on at 9 a.m. Nothing. And then he said it could take up until midnight. It's like, fuck, right, okay. Waited till midnight, nothing. Went to bed. So that was all day, Tuesday, all day. And you feel it. You feel like you've had your legs cut off.
I know.
You don't know what to do. All I had was my phone. So I could still do calls at work and stuff, obviously, with the internet on my phone. But there's no Wi-Fi. So the kid, she couldn't get on a Nintendo. Eva didn't have a Kindle. We couldn't, no Peppa Pig on Netflix or Disney Plus, nothing. Sasha had to go into the office. She was really annoyed. Had to go in the office for 2 days to work because she would try to hotspot on her phone, but that didn't work, And then the next day, I woke up in the morning. The vote, when you look on the Wi-Fi and it's like what Wi-Fi is available, it didn't even pop up. Like, fuck, what's going on? So I called them and they said, "Oh yeah, well we'll have to get an engineer out." "Oh, when?" "Tomorrow." What? Another day? I can't cope with this. Honestly, I was going stir crazy. Because I could still work and stuff, but I mean, there's you can't do anything. You can't go on your computer. You can't go on your television. Yeah,
We had a series of storms
you
here that took our internet out for days, and it did my nutting.
It's awful, but in the evening we played Jenga and puzzles, and it was quite nice in that way. We did other things. We had a fire in the back garden, in the fire pit and stuff, and so it was quite nice. But that was enough.
I tell you what, our generation's got over like the forthcoming generations. What we've got is physical media. We still have some of it. We haven't thrown it all away yet. Whereas, you were saying about can't connect to Nintendo. Well,
Nah, she
that
was
wasn't a
furious,
problem.
man. She was pissed.
That never used to be a problem,
I
did it?
know.
Mm.
And explain to a 3-year-old that she can't watch Peppa Pig because she doesn't know what the internet is. Like, she's not interested
Yeah.
in that. Why the fuck
Yeah.
isn't Peppa Pig on? That's all she cares about,
Yeah.
And I said, hey, Dan Bradley's fault, not me. So my little
Dan's
3-year-old, if he was in the room, she would have punched him in the face.
When I got that video saying, why can't I have Peppa Pig? I felt like sending her back a picture of some pork chops I had sat there. There's your Peppa Pig.
Yeah.
Here she is. She's sat in my kitchen ready to be grilled.
But you can even things like I couldn't get on a Zoom call. That's important in my line of work.
Well, it's true. It's very true.
Just awful. Ooh, this looks good.
Oh, look at this. Apparently, there's a launch happening on Monday.
Is
There
there?
is.
You see, I'm looking at that now and I'm going, that's not the right fucking bit. And I go, oh no, it's the sales page
That's the sales.
preview.
That
Yeah,
headline
on the
looks
actual
really
sales
good,
page.
doesn't it? That
On
headline
the
looks
actual
really
sales page, does Dan look more like himself?
Well, after Kurt last week, I had to add the £20 back on, didn't I? After he told me I looked too. So the actual sales page is / competition. I think.
Competition.
I think so.
I think that noise is coming from you, Steve.
What noise?
Exactly.
I don't think it was.
Oh, who was that? I don't know who it was. Sorry. There he is.
Yeah.
It was, unless I typed it in wrong. Right.
Someone's telly's leaking.
And then the other thing, do you remember in the 80s,
sorry,
right?
it's / champion. Sorry.
Remember in the 80s when the programming would stop and it would just snow for like 6 hours throughout the night? Do you remember that? It was the snow
Yeah.
show.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yes, there was shutdown and there wasn't.
It's great, isn't it? Because when it's not playing, you've got that lovely picture of Dan, and then that comes up.
I look like I'm about to fucking sneeze.
You look like the singer from Simply Red.
That's meant to be the
Nick
same
Hucknall.
person. That there is meant to be this here.
That's Mick
No
Hucknall.
way.
Come on. It's fairly close.
I love it, really. So anyway, yes, this is out on Monday, and if you've got an audience for this kind of thing, you can find out more at jbwithdan.com or jbwithrichie.com. And if you're new in the game, if you're new to internet marketing, honestly, I have genuinely looked at this, and it does. This should be a lot more money than it is. I'm just going to say that much.
Right. Thank you. That's
We
endorsement enough.
we always get the same feedback from you, Andy. You're too cheap. But it's I would love to sell it for more, but is what it is. But yeah, $12.95. But the price is going to be increasing. So get it early on Monday when when your favorite affiliates tell you about it. Get it on Monday. That'll be the cheapest price because it is going to go up afterwards. It'll be 27 after launch week.
Yeah.
I'm not mailing till Tuesday, so if you want to wait for a bit, then
Why aren't you made
Follow
until
that.
Tuesday?
because I need to give the list a break. They're not buying
Oh, okay.
anything at the moment.
Okay.
I want to give it a good chance. To
James,
decide.
you alright?
Do you know
Yeah,
what?
I thought so. No,
Can
we did.
anyone else hear that?
Yeah, Steve's
Yeah,
mic.
it's Steve.
Oh,
yeah.
okay, right.
So
It's
I've noticed as well with our list. I've noticed a bit of a drop at the minute in kind of buying stuff, and I just think part of it is because of the number of products that are out, and I see people doing a lot of campaigns for like 2-3 days, and then 2-3 days. I think there's a lot of noise. I mean, maybe your
Possibly,
list has
there might be.
other issues as well, but I definitely think there's a lot.
I think mine has other issues in that I don't mail to it enough, and then I started mailing to it, and they've a lot of them have gone, do we want to get these anymore? So that's going to happen. But,
How often do you mail?
I haven't mailed for about 2 weeks now, and then I just sent Andy's stuff out, but that hasn't done anything, although that's a higher price point than they used to. But
Yeah.
it doesn't necessarily follow that that's why they haven't bought, because price isn't always the buying indicator. You know, it just it's
So
just trying to think through one of the reasons why they might not do it.
Yeah.
I did your webinar, but then again on the size list that I've got, getting that few people is fine. I mean, it's about the right conversion rate, I would think.
Well, I find with ours, so I know most people do the same thing. I only will mail when I've got something to say. So I don't do. I know some marketers do. Well, I email 3 times a day, no matter what. Right?
No, I don't.
I can't. I don't buy into that. I think it's just churn and burn. So I'll only mail when there's something worth saying. And one of the things that and I don't know if this is what you do. One of the things that I've noticed does better for me is actually sticking with a promo for a little bit longer. So, for example, I will only do about 1 promotion a week and stick with it for a good 3, 4, 5 days, depending on what the launch
I
is.
tend to do 4 days. It tends to feel right.
Because if I do 2 days on one and then 2 days on another, right? You think, well,
I don't think you're giving enough. Yeah,
they get confused. They're like, oh no, hang on, this isn't what I just saw. I saw something else, and now they're thinking about 2 products and they buy nothing, right? So that's what I try and do. But yeah, I haven't mailed anything actually for about a week, because there just hasn't been anything that I've wanted to mail.
It's been a load of shit.
Well, there is that. That is a different problem, but yeah, there's been.
It was quiet this week.
Very little.
Really quiet.
It was quiet.
What has been out has been.
You should have launched this week.
Well,
mate,
tell you what.
Don't get him started, Steve, because that's all he's fucking been telling me all fucking week. I told you we should have fucking launched this week. Because I was the one that changed
come
it
off
to next week.
YouTube, I will tell you the story of that, but I'm not going to do it publicly.
Well, talking of that, if you are watching on YouTube,
it is
not
time.
anymore.